It's an honor and a privilege to bring up to you, to us on our show, my listeners, the good homie King Syze. What's up, King?
What's going on?
Welcome to the joint. Let me make sure we are on here. Again, if you want to pull it, whatever's more comfortable, you can get up, you can take it out. Whatever's comfortable. Yeah, if you want to take it out, man.
Yeah, you know I might as well, because I'm a little,
there you go.
You know,
there you go. I want you to be comfortable, man. So, welcome to the show, man. We appreciate this, man. It's been a long time coming, man. I appreciate you coming out here, rocking with us, man. Shit, I'm trying to think. I think you're like the third AOTP brother to come through, man. So it's all love. I appreciate that, man.
Like I said, I'm glad to be here, man.
No doubt, man. So let's get right to it, man. Let's take a step back first. Just as a whole, man. When exactly did the journey start for King Syze, man? Take us back, man. The MC King Syze, of course.
I lived in East Oak Lane, you know, back in the day, and Planet lived around the corner from me.
Word.
And Crip, and he was always, you know, his family knew my family for years and years, and we didn't even know that until we met in East Oak Lane. And you know, he was always into the tapes, and you know, Plan was the one that was always really into the music.
Word.
So, you know, just being the, you know, basically the little brother around or whatever, he got us all into it. And during that time, you know, we used to hang on a corner called 5th and 65th Avenue.
Of course.
We used to always be there, all of us. And my man Iron Kong, back in the day, his name was Syze. He used to always, you know, be rapping all the time too, and they were all older and they were all very influential. So I always wanted to be like those guys, and you know, to be like Plan and Crip. And Plan actually wrote my first verse for me when I was I had to be 11 or 12.
Word.
You know what I mean? So back then we used to freestyle all the time on the block, and you know, that's just basically how it started. Me, Syze, and Dust Devious used to be a group called I Spies, and we recorded a couple of joints or whatever, but we were kids, you know what I mean? So like, you know, we did that, and we used to record at Fresh Tracks at Shawham Avenue. Yeah. So like during those times, you know, we just used to. Everything was nothing but music. Serious, like, you know, it's like, you know, it kind of threw everybody off of school, and it was just like an addiction at an early age, man. And it still continues to this day, obviously. So
yeah, it happened to us all, man.
As I got a little bit older, whatever, I ran into like Adam 12 and the Dead Pigeons and those guys, and Adam 12 actually was the first one to put me on a track when I was like, I had to be 12 or 13 years old, you know. That's 20 years ago. You know, I was just with Adam 12 over the weekend. It's funny because the connections you make over time, you know, like they never go away, you know what I mean? So it's been that's what we all started back in East Oak Lane with Planet, Iron Kong, and Crip, and you know, so it was always.
I remember those. I brought it up to Plan one day years ago. I mentioned it here again tonight. Probably saw it on the interview with them guys.
Yeah, I was watching
coming out of
Fresh
Tracks. My old squad used to come. Well, we used to record up there. And one day driving down 5th Street, heading back to North Philly, see a bunch of brothers on the corner, 5th and 65th.
Yeah, 5th and 65th, yeah, exactly.
I brought that up to Plan. I told him, I was like, yo, I remember y'all, like, this had to be 96 or so.
Yes, yeah.
And, you know, we jumped out, you know what I'm saying? We were squad deep, you guys were squad deep. It wasn't no battle shit, but we seen y'all rapping. We all came up and rapped. And, again, this is a long time ago. I don't know if you were there that particular night, but that was my introduction to the QD crew at that time.
During those times, whenever I was really young, so like I wasn't, I might have been there, but like you know, I wasn't nearly enough to be to be out there with you know. Anytime it's funny because anytime you know people will come up like that or talking about, you know, rapping with other people, it would always be Planet and Crip and Lawrence Arnell and those guys or whatever, because I was a little bit younger at the time.
Really, man. Hey, you were blessed though to be, you know, the young boy around such dope MCs.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, I was in a similar situation, so I can relate to that.
I commented about that on an interview I did, you know, a couple weeks back or whatever. It was kind of like an unfair playing field because, like, I was in high school with kids that didn't know anything about anything, and I was being mentored by Planet and Paz. As we got a little bit older or whatever, when Paz came in the picture, it was kind of like being mentored by those guys, and like, you know, actually just knowing how to record a song, you know, just like, you know, other kids didn't know how to do that.
Word.
Like, they had tapes that sounded terrible. I had tapes that were from Fresh Tracks that sounded good.
Word.
You know what I mean? And like, at an early age, we used to save up money to just at least try to do it as right as we could, even though like some of it was probably whack. You know what I mean? I don't know. You know, like, I haven't heard any of that stuff in years, but you know, it's just like we always try to make a good sound. You know what I mean?
For sure. That's what's up, man. Now, for someone who might have not heard your stuff yet, how would you describe your sound, your music, in words to someone who may have never heard it?
I mean, overall, like, I've been a working dude my whole life, man. I dropped out of school in 9th grade. I got a union job a couple years later or whatever. So, all my music has something to do with whatever's going on in my life at the time. You know what I mean? So, I've always been a blue collar dude, just like the city. So my music has kind of been the same way, because I've always been, you know, working on the music, but juggling the family, working, you know, 50 hours a week with the union and all that stuff. So my music is based off, you know, like just hard work. You know what I mean? So it's a rugged style, but like, you know, you can really know. You can take a glimpse into my life just by listening to my music. I don't fabricate anything. Anything that's going on is what's going on, you know what I mean?
No doubt. And that I guess that holds true as far as the titles of your albums.
Yes.
They're all related to work and stuff like that.
My first album, Seismology, it's funny because my Lawrence Arnell, he was a huge mentor to me when I was a kid, and still is to this day. And he came up with that album name when I was years before it even came out. You know what I mean? So
that's dope, man. So how long, like you were saying, you were putting in work, how long was it until you officially became a part of AOTP? And also, how was it that you became a part of such a legendary underground squad, man?
Well, Plan used to go down to 3rd and Market, and I used to go down there and
Bobito's.
Yeah, exactly. Yes. Sure. And you know, it's funny because I was just talking about this the other day, because you know, Pumpkinhead just passed away.
Heard about that. R.I.P. man.
Yes, definitely. And he's such a good dude. And I remember that was the first time I ever heard him was at Footworks. You know what I mean? And so basically, Plan was down there, and Paz was down there, and Kamachi was down there, and like, I was just, you know, I was always a tag along, you know what I mean? Like, I was always just trying to be down, you know what I mean? And I only rocked that Footwork one time, because I was just shaking. I just got up there and closed my eyes and kicked the verse and got off stage, you know what I'm saying? I had to be 15, 16, but me and Paz were always mad cool, you know what I mean? Because he would always like, you know, he would always fuck with me all the time, you know what I mean? Like, you're the young guy with the chip on his shoulder or whatever, even though I never really was. But so we became close friends through music and just through life in general. And I had mad demos out, you know, doing it around the way, whatever, but they weren't, you know, really, you know, Paz was like, they're dope, you know what I mean? But they're just not ready to put on vinyl yet, you know what I mean? So a couple years later, you know, just working, I did street poetry, and he put it out, and that's how it all. I've been a part of the crew since. So with Super Regular Records, and then Machine Gun Rap came out a couple years later with 7L and Esoteric. They blazed it, and 7L did all the beats, so it was like kind of like stamped and official from there on. When you got 7L doing your beats on the lookout and all that, whatever, like that put you a shoe in. You know what I mean?
You went for sure at that point, man. So what do you think, in your opinion, what sets AOTP apart from other hip hop squads, man? Because this is some legendary shit as far as the squad, man.
I agree. We've you know what, like, the last year we put out the 2 albums, but before that, whatever, the albums were scarce. I think everybody taking the initiative to do their own shit while there's no AOTP going on, you know, everybody still rock their own stuff, and nobody ever waited for another AOTP album to come before they start putting music out and all that stuff. Out of Space, me, but obviously Paz and Esoteric and those guys, whatever, we've put out music for years and years before, you know, and then, you know, the Torture Papers came, and then, you know, the other ones came after that, and like, I really do believe that everybody, you know, just staying on their toes and putting out good music in the meantime, well, like, made it to this status as it is today. You know, because like the more music you put out, the more people hear it, and you stay relevant.
True, true. Now let's talk about your love for hip hop and all that stuff. First and foremost, what would be your favorite part of like the process? Would you consider writing to be your favorite, recording, or performing? Out of those three, what do you enjoy doing the most?
I guess that would be a loaded question because I do like to perform, whatever, but it all depends on where it is. You know what I mean? Like if I'm going to Boston to perform, I'm stoked. You know what I mean? Because like the Bean has always been good to me. You know what I mean? New York's always been good to me. Philly is always, you know how it is here. You know what I mean? But
for sure.
But I guess my favorite part would be in the studio and the actual creating. You know what I mean? Because like if like a lot of times I'm just jotting stuff down, and then when I get into the studio, I formulate it, put it all together, and then you got a couple beers and the beats are playing, and like that's the favorite part to me because that's the most relaxing. It's like a night out to me. You know what I mean?
Word, for sure. Now you mentioned going to Boston and New York and places like that. A lot of Philly MCs are actually stuck here. They can't get out of shows downtown or whatever if they're lucky. Whereas you've traveled a handful of places. Where was your first? Have you been overseas?
Yes.
Where was your first show overseas, and when was it, and where was it? Do you remember the first time you left the country to perform?
I left the country in when Vid Shot came out. Okay. And I went over there with Paz. I forget the year it was or whatever, but we were in Germany. I forget the exact city and all that, but Germany, we were there, and I was young and stupid back then, or whatever. So it was like, we were all really, really young, man, being overseas,
for sure.
And that was the first time. But like the crowds over there, it's just not even a comparison to what it is here. And like Boston gives you that effect, like if you're in the overseas, like if you're across the world or whatever. Word. So I think it was Germany, but the first time I went over there was with Paz, Visions Gandhi tour, around that time.
Word, man. Now, is there, thinking back throughout the years, and I know you done performed so much, is there one particular event that just sticks out as probably your favorite, whether it was Boston or somewhere else? Like, yo, that night, boom. Is there one that sticks out?
The best night of my personal life was I was on the Heavy Metal Kings tour in 2011, and Toronto was just, it was 1,000 people, and my merch sold out in 10 minutes from the doors, and
nice.
It was a crazy fun night. And anytime you're with Ill Bill and Eclipse, it's like
Ill Bill, man.
It's kind of like one of those things where I was buying these guys' records when I was a kid, and now I'm rolling on tour with those guys, and over the years now I consider Eclipse and Ill Bill like actual friends of mine. Word, so it's like
that's dope,
it's like surreal, you know what I mean?
For sure, man. Now, is there a place you haven't rocked yet? I'm sure there's plenty of places you love to go, but is there a particular city that sticks out that you haven't been to yet that you would love to just grab the family and say, come on, we're going here?
I would love to. There's actually, two places. My ultimate dream is I've been to overseas and up and down the East Coast, and I've been to Canada, but I've never been on the West Coast. I've
really?
Never. Nope, not yet. And,
so what you thinking? LA, maybe San Fran, something like that?
Yeah, I just want to go to Los Angeles, man.
Sure.
I've never been there. Crip and Plan's been there plenty of times, and they tell me how how dope it is there. And it is, I've done a lot, but I've never been there, and it's still a dream of mine. And Chicago, I've never been to Chicago.
Yo, I want to go to Chicago so
do I, man. This is crazy because I just sit around and think about Chicago.
Me too, man. I want to go. I want to go because of my love for photography. And I love architecture.
I see your pictures.
And I love architecture, and I think Chicago has the dopest skyscrapers in the world. And besides, like a place maybe Dubai, but Chicago is definitely one of my places.
Yeah, I've never been there, but I definitely want to. I've heard it's just like. Going on 76 West for 12 hours to end up back in Philly. You know what I mean?
Right. Yes, huge.
I can't wait to go there. I'm going to get there, and I'll get to Los Angeles too.
That's what's up. I'm sure you will, man. Now, doing all of that, man, and being a family man, a working man, a father, and all that, man. Do you find it hard to juggle your hip hop with your family life?
Nowadays, not too much, because like I was a part of the union for 13 years, and I recently quit a couple of years ago to we have our own business and all that, so I'm and we homeschool our kids, so I'm like the homeschool dad MC now.
Word,
so
word.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like it's a little bit easier now because I have the time. Back when I was working, it was awful, man. It was just like I wouldn't come out with an album for a couple of years just because just wasn't popping. I had to do other things to attend to, and just in life in general, and making sure the kids is good. But my wife is she's a big supporter of my music and always has been. So now she's the one who gave me the courage to leave and to be like give it a shot. And she's worked really, really hard to do her thing, for me to be able to do mine.
Word.
You know what I mean? So like at one point it was the opposite. I was working so much, whatever, and she got her stuff going on, and she gave me the courage to be like, let's do this. So now I'm doing it. And and she's always had my back, and she always will.
Oh man, that's what's up, man. A lot of people lack that in life, having a strong woman by their side. So for you to have that, man, many blessings. For those who just tuned in, or if you're just logging on, we got the good brother King Syze in the building. We're talking about a little bit of the past, a little bit of his history. Excuse me. We're going to be talking in a few about his EP that is being re-released tomorrow, Year of the Hyenas, with the good brother Reef The Lost Cauze. So stay tuned for all that. We're going to get to that in the second part. I got a few more questions before we get to our little mini break. We're going to spin a few joints off of the Year of the Hyenas. But you were talking about the work and all that and stuff. Just, again, I'm trying to get your fans and our listeners to know a little bit more about you, man. So if you're not doing nothing hip-hop related, and you're not doing your business, and you got a free day,
trying to catch up on stuff that's new, and like and have a couple beers with some of my friends. But other than that, it's like always, my kids are always around, so I don't play hardcore hip-hop while the kids are around.
Right.
I just don't do that. I don't judge people who do, but I just don't.
For sure.
So when they're not around, and like I just woke up and nobody's there for some odd reason, whatever, I'll throw something on.
Right.
And like that's what I like to do. I like to try to listen to new shit that's out, or even old shit that I just can't rock while on a regular.
By the kids, so, that makes sense, man. So we was talking about a little bit in the past as far as back like in the Bobito days, back in that time frame, being still a part of the scene today. How would you compare the Philly scene today? Like, what's the difference between 2015 and say early 2000s, late 90s, man?
Well, back when I was a kid, coming up doing that, it was funny because like it was like QD, and we knew about the X-Files. But other than that, like you really, really had to work to get hurt.
Sure, for sure.
We were close in locations, and a couple of people knew each other that were like that. This guy knew this guy, so that's why. But other than that, like if you got heard back then, you had to work really hard. But now, like you could like plug in a mic to a laptop and think that you got heard, and it's just not true. I think the perception, I think, is the difference. Back then, if you were heard, the work that Paz and those guys put in, it's not. You don't have to do that nowadays. But I think it gives people the like a false sense of who they really are, on the chance of like it's like, okay, you got your homie that you grew up with that's not a fan. That's your homie that you grew up with.
Preach.
Okay, and it's like I think that makes people work less. And it makes the quality of the music down. Just like with shows now, like the 100 openers before the like I just like promote. I think that's the promoter's fault. You know what I mean? Not having confidence in the show that they're putting on. And just that's the difference. Like the perception of who you are. Like you're not that. Your homie is not your fan. That's your friend. You know, and like, it's just, it makes a lot for some really bad music sometimes.
You ain't lying, man.
And I hate it because, you know, sometimes, you know, I'll listen to somebody just out of the blue and be like, you know, this guy's really dope, man, but like, you know, what chance does he have? He doesn't know he doesn't know anything.
That's true.
And it's a shame, you know, there's nobody, you know, around to say, you know, why don't you go into a real studio and make it a real sound and, you know, get your Twitter out, get all, you know, all the social media outlets that are available to us now that, you know, we weren't, you know, back then we didn't have that.
Yeah.
So it's like, you know, not knowing how to capitalize on that, on the marketing and all that stuff, it's like, it makes for some bad music. There's nobody there saying, you know, no, that doesn't sound right. There's a bunch of yes men around somebody who's not really anybody anyway.
Yo, that's dope, brother.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like you're not anybody, and you're around a bunch of people that are telling you you're dope, but like that's how you stay stuck in that same circle.
Word. For sure, man. So, real quick, man, you brought up seismology earlier, and I remember banging that joint, man, and one of my favorites was Non-Believers on there.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I really dug that joint, man. Thinking back, again, this was like 9 years ago, do you have a personal favorite on that project? Being as though that was your debut, that it's like your baby, I'm sure, that whole project.
Of course,
but do you have a baby within that baby, like, yo, this song right here?
You know what? Band of Brothers is like is it for me because it's like there's a whole story behind that one particular song.
Okay.
Now, dude Undefined, you know, he produced it. He's an amazing producer, but back then he just didn't know how to mix, you know, and I was trying to get this out, and you know, we recorded at Scott Salone Studio and at Found Sound, and Crip was happy with the way it came out, and so we sent it to Undefined to mix, and he sent it back, and it was horrible.
Oh, wow.
But I was just trying to be, you know, nice, you know, being like, no, it doesn't sound too bad. And I pick up Crip, and you know, I'm like, all right, I'm gonna bang the joint for him, and he puts it in, and he's like, yo, that shit's fucked up. It's like it doesn't sound good, like, and I'm like, no, it sounds good. He's like, look, I'm gonna tell you this right now, right? If you're gonna put it out like that, take my verses off. My brother is telling me to take his verses off of it because it doesn't sound good. So I had to get Scott Salone to mix it and all that, whatever. So it was like,
that's funny.
So that's a personal favorite of mine, just because I can remember Crip's face being like, yo, take me off of it. I don't want to be on it if you're not gonna get it mixed right. And that goes back to what I'm saying about, you know.
Right.
I had somebody to say, nah, that shit's whack. The song wasn't whack, but the mixing was whack, so people would have thought it was garbage.
No doubt.
And it wasn't a good mix, and you know, like I said, Undefined is a great producer. You know, it's just
for sure.
He just wasn't an engineer, and that's another thing where, you know, people seem to lack on, you know, not knowing the difference.
For sure, man. So we're gonna, before we get to this break, we're gonna get to a break. We're gonna again spin a few joints. Give me 1 second, Sport. After Seismology, you went on to drop 3 more joints, a total of 4 solo projects.
Yeah.
As well as being on every AOTP album, and as well as the collab EP with Reef, which we'll be talking about in a second, which is the Year of the Hyenas. Let's just say that was it. That's your catalog, and you had to stop today. Would you be satisfied with that body of work that you put out?
Yeah, I think I would be. You know, because like I said, everything's an outline of my life. So at the end, like if Year of the Hyenas was the last joint, I would know it would be 50 years later, and if I listened back to that and Union Terminology, I would be able to replay what happened at that time of my life, you know. So
for sure,
everything is scripted, you know, yeah, I would be happy with it, definitely, because you know what, to be honest, you know, like, I mean, there's not a lot of people who've done what I've done so far in the same circle that they think they are in with me. You know what I mean?
So you're doing it amongst the heavyweights,
exactly,
you know, and so holding your own.
And my last 2 albums was done independently, financed by me. You know, and people don't know how unbelievably hard that is until they're doing it. and they came out good. You know, they came out good and right. And I worked hard on all those projects.
That's what's up, man. So again, if you just tuned in, man, we got the homeboy King Syze in the building. We're going to take a few minutes. We're going to spin a few joints off of the Year of the Hyenas EP with the good brother Reef The Lost Cauze. Yeah. Once again, man, a little taste of the Year of the Hyenas, which was actually released in December digitally, and now will be re-released tomorrow, correct?
Yep, on Goon Music from the Snow Goons, they actually pressed it up and put it out. Yeah, so tomorrow it'll be available on CD for all the people that have been hitting us up about CDs. It's there tomorrow, so there's no reason not to have it.
Word. Now, for those who didn't catch the digital copy and all that, what can they expect from this EP, Year of the Hyenas, with you and Reef The Lost Cauze, man?
Well, first of all, I mean, Reef is obviously on it. He's the second half of it, and he's such an incredible MC and somebody really good to work with. You know, it's just. When I do projects with other people, I don't really get too, topic-y about things, whatever. We just go raw, and if you just like hard beats, hard rhymes, and hard cuts, you know, that's what it's about on that one. It's another AOTP project, like a partnership, kind of like a Self and Apathy type of joint. You know, it's me and Reef. You know,
word for sure, man. Now, besides Reef and yourself, is there any other AOT brothers on there, or any guest appearances we can expect?
Yeah, Crip is on there, Crip the War Child, V-Zilla's on there, Lawrence Arnell's on there, who else is on there? I think that's it for the features. Yeah, so those guys, and oh no, I'm sorry, Dope Nixon is on there.
Word, shout out to Dope.
So yeah, that's about it. So you know, it's a AOTP thing, you know.
What about production, man? What can we expect?
Schematics is on there. Snow Goons did some remixes on there. Sea Lance. Yeah, that's it. Who else was on there? Oh, the Grim Reapers, you know, from over in Europe. Mm-hmm. There was it's only 10 joints, so that basically puts up the lineup of the production.
Now, is this your first?
Oh, I'm sorry, in level 13, Philly.
Yeah, for sure. Shout out to Will, man. Good brother, man.
Yeah, he's a good dude, man. Really good guy.
Word. I know that means a lot to him as well.
I work with so many people, man. It's hard to remember what's going on at all times.
Yeah,
you know?
Man, that's the good homie right there, man.
Yeah, he's an incredible producer, you know, and yeah, he did Philly Nights on there, and yeah, that's about it.
Word. That's dope, man. Now, is this your first collab EP with another solo artist? I don't recall hearing of anything in the past as far as like a straight,
like a whole project with somebody else.
Right,
yes.
Right. And if so, why Reef though? Why were you willing to do this with Reef?
Well, I'm gonna say like back in I'm gonna say it had to be 6-7 years ago we had started a project together, and we got halfway through it, and you know things happen, life happened. You know, I had a baby, and it just didn't go from anything from there. You know what I mean? And a lot of that music is on my mixtape called Overtime. So and we just Reef is somebody like I've always respected and always been a fan of, and not just his music. I'm talking about him as a human. So he's a really good dude, and we became family over the time, and all this LTP stuff going on, and we already started a project back in the day, so we always had the chemistry to work together, even though we sound nothing alike. Mm-hmm. But yeah, Reef is just I really like working with Reef, and it's been a successful project so far. And the re-release, the Snow Goons being willing to put it out again, 6 months later, just shows that it could be something. And Reef is I just work really well with him.
For sure, and it shows by the music that I've heard so far from the project. Explain the title to me though, Year of the Hyenas. It sounds familiar, like I heard of, I don't know if that was a book or something, but I've heard of that.
Well,
what is
last year we were doing pharaohs. Everything was pharaohs, you know what I mean? So Year of the Hyenas is a time in Egypt where all the tombs of Egypt were getting robbed, and the Nile River was overflowing, and it was just a bad time in Egypt. And I just thought it was a cool title, you know, and the cover shows that kind of thing, you know what I mean? So I thought it was cool, and you know that's where it came from, and it was I didn't just thought it was like an animal, you know. I actually did research on these type of things, and that's where it came from. It was a pharaoh year. Everything was pharaohs, and you know, that's how it came about.
For sure, man. Yeah, I knew it sounded familiar because I'm big on Egyptian history, all of that stuff.
Yeah, it's crazy because you look up that time. It was just, you know, a lot of everything was bad at a, you know, from an empire that was known to be great. So
that's true, man. Now, how long total? You said you guys were working on a project in the past. For this particular joint, how long was the process before it was complete? Were any of the prior joints from years ago put on here?
No. All that music is on my mixtape Overtime, which is on my KingSizebandcamp.com, so anybody can go and get it and download it. I'm actually gonna have that out on CD too soon. So yeah, it's all on there now. This was all fresh, all brand new music, and none of it is on there. This is all new, and it was fun, man. It's always a great thing to put something together with somebody who you consider a friend.
For sure, man. Now, do you have a personal favorite on this joint?
Actually, when it's said and done, it's probably my favorite because, you know, Lawrence Arnell is he just makes songs really dope, you know.
Yeah,
like
he's a good dude,
he makes songs, you know, really incredible. That's why he's on a new Jedi Mind album. He did a hook on there, like whether he's rapping or singing a hook or just, you know, rapping a hook, he always makes everything just that much better.
No, for sure, I agree, man. He's probably going to be the next homie up here out of the whole squad.
Yeah,
he's a good guy, man.
He would be considered, I guess, one of the lesser known right this second, but it has nothing to do from what he's done. You know, if you look at his resume.
Is he an official member of TOTP?
Yes,
he is. Okay. I knew he was affiliated. I never knew if he was quite actually in the actual squad.
Back in the day when we were doing torture papers and all that stuff or whatever, you know, like L was, you know, I call him L. You know, he wasn't kind of like around at those times, you know. But Paz always respected him as an MC. He's on Violent by Design, you know, and an incredible classic album. And like his resume, you know, Lawrence Arnell's resume is pretty extensive if you do the research.
For sure, man. For sure. Now, again, man, if you just tuned in, we're talking with King Syze about the Year of the Hyenas EP with Reef The Lost Cauze, which came out in December. Is being re-released tomorrow. It came out originally digitally. It's coming out tomorrow physically. And you can get those you can get them CDs exactly where? On Amazon?
On Amazon.com and undergroundhiphop.com. So
word.
They won't be in stores, you know, but like, you know, you can order them on Amazon Prime, you know, just like anything else.
Word. And if they wanted to download the digital joint, is that still available? That was on your Bandcamp, correct? Or
it is on there, but you know, it's on iTunes, Google Play.
And all that. Word. Go to iTunes.
The version of it on iTunes is the original with the 8 songs. So, but if you prefer digital, it's everywhere.
Word. I gotta update some iTunes credits because I need some more of them to get that on my phone, man. These iPhones are stupid, so the one great thing about it is I get gifts and they're like iTunes gifts.
Yes,
and I always spend it on local music. I don't buy no, you know, Jay-Z shits and all that.
Yeah.
But every time we get a guest up, I always make sure I have some credits, and I'm actually going to cop that, man, because I need that. So we were talking behind the scenes. I had no idea. You said you're also working on another solo project.
Yes, I have a new album called Vested. It's another one with schematics. It's a 10-song joint. I'm hoping to have it out by October, and it's another one by him, you know. And it's a little bit different than what my other projects were, because it talks about my new life.
Word.
You know, and my new life is not what it was. You know, my life has changed so much in the last couple of years that, you know, my personal music really does reflect it, and you'll have a vision of what I'm doing on a, you know, there's still hard joints on there, you know.
Of course.
But the topic songs and all that, it's like, you know, you get a real glimpse of what I'm doing now.
And how far along are you into that joint?
I'm about 6 joints in, you know. Like I said, it's only going to be 10 joints because I have, you know, I'm going on to another project after that with Reef and I will be doing part 2. So
you heard it here first on the Takeover at 10. That's what's up, man. Again, man, your work is incredible, and we're all looking forward to, and I'm speaking for us here as well as your fans that's tuned in, man. We're all looking forward to what you continue to bring to the table,
Thank you, man. I appreciate it, man. I appreciate all the love, too.
For sure, man. So much hard work, and to see that you're still doing it and still out there, man.
You know, we were talking about earlier, you know, like when I started when I was 13. I'm 33 now, and it's like it's the same love for the music as it was back. Probably more now because you know, I actually get paid off of it.
Word. Yeah, money helps it, you know, definitely make you appreciate it a little bit more.
Yes. So,
for sure,
you know,
man.
When a nice payment comes in, it's always appreciated.
For sure, man. So look, man, we're done with the main part of the interview. For those who just tuned in, if you missed this, don't worry. You're going to catch this interview this weekend on YouTube. We'll make sure we put it up so you can catch the full interview. I do got a few more, questions, what I call like the OT portion.
Okay.
Where it's quick little questions, quick answers. You just answer 1 or 2 words, at least, you know, amount of words possible.
Okay.
First rap song that you memorized by heart growing up. That you can remember.
I'm going to say Shook Ones, and I know that's later on in life, you know, but I think Shook Ones, most likely.
Word. Okay. You're going to probably laugh too, but bear with me here. Pollo guisado or arroz con pollo? If you had to have one of them.
I'm going to the rice and chicken.
The rice and chicken?
Yes.
All right. Well, I like them all or whatever, but I like the arroz con pollo too because it's all cooked together and they get that chicken all like properly. Yeah, I mean, forgive me, I'm a little hungry, y'all. Miss Wawa after the show, please.
Well, they don't have that at Wawa.
Yeah, no, well, it's still.
You gotta roll around with your own adobo and shit.
Yeah. We definitely can't get that at Wawa, but I gotta do something here. So, all right, let's see here. So, speaking about food, man, say you had a bad day or whatever, and your wife wanted to cheer you up, and what plate would she bring you to the table to say, babe, here's your favorite food, I hope you feel better?
You know, it's gonna sound kind of boring, man, but like, you know, I'm always a noodles and lentil soup type of dude with hot sauce all in it, and like I'll go to bed right after.
So you'll be happy with that?
Yes, I'll be happy with that.
She's probably happy too, because she ain't gotta do much. She gotta boil some noodles and sprinkle some hot sauce, and here you go.
Exactly. I'm an easy man to deal with.
No doubt, man. I'm gonna catch you off guard real quick, man. Favorite solo album by a Wu-Tang member?
You know what? I'm going Iron Man all day. I'm going Iron Man, and that's no disrespect to Purple Tape or Liquid Swords or anything like that, but that's my personal.
There's really no wrong answer, man.
Yeah, I guess I'm gonna go Iron Man on the fact that it annoys me when people think Supreme Clientele is better, and I just don't. I don't see it.
I would agree. I love both albums.
So do I.
I agree with you on that one.
So yeah, Iron Man for me, no doubt.
All right, another one. Throwing you off real quick, man. Favorite Jedi Mind Tricks album? All of them were dope, but what was your personal favorite one?
My personal favorite, I'm gonna go with Visions of Gandhi, man. It really stamps a memory in my mind of Vinyl by Design was when we were younger. Visions of Gandhi was like, you know, the next one after that, and that's when things really started going. And plus, you know, I really love the music on there, the production and all that. So I'm gonna go Visions of Gandhi is probably my favorite one.
No doubt. And I got about 3 more left in the overtime portion of the interview. If you can get a verse from any MC, dead or alive, on your next project, who would it be?
Right now, like
yeah, even if they got, you know, rest in peace, even if it was someone, you know, we're talking fantasy here, man, even if one passed away, say you wanted a Pac verse or even a Big verse, or someone that is alive though, dead or alive, you can get a verse from anyone.
Just from a personal favorite, I probably would get a verse from Yadibox, just because he's like, you know, his music has always been dope, and he's one of the top 5. I mean, one of the top guys of all time, in my opinion. But anytime he's on a feature, he really does some really, you know, he comes correct every time. Always. So he's always been one of my favorite.
Okay.
But from new guys, you know, I'm a Kendrick Lamar fan, so he was another one that I would love to see on one of my beats, one of my kind of beats.
Word.
So yeah,
I think that'd be dope too.
Yeah.
Man. So let me bring you back home real quick, man. All-time top 5 Philly. Starting lineup, man.
Okay, I'm going Paz, I'm going Plan, I'm going Thought. Who else? You know, that's a tough one.
It is.
I'm going Seagull. And I'm going I'm gonna have to go with my brother Crip, man. 'Cause, you know, he's somebody who doesn't go. I'm sure, you know, like this is on the spot. So yeah, I'll probably go Crip, Plan, Paz, Thought, Seagull, and
honorable mention to sound like you got? Oh, that was 5. Wait. Yeah, no, that was 5.
That was 5.
It looked like you were thinking of another one, so I was going to give you that.
I know there's more.
I mean, again, I could probably ask you tomorrow off the top, and you'll probably give me another, you know.
Yeah, I'm going to tweet you my another list or whatever.
That way you can really, you know what I mean, say no more.
So, you know, because like, it's hard to come up with Philly guys right off the top.
No, of course,
you know?
man. And then there's so many, even whether you're talking about top 5 Philly, top 5 overall, it might be one today. Right, you might have 1-5 today, then tomorrow. Like, my thing is, you brought up Jada. My top 4 is pretty much solid, but my 5th spot always flips back and forth between Jada and Styles.
Okay.
Styles P, depending on who's doing what at the moment. So, but I feel what you're saying, man. So I got one last joint, and we're talking about Philly still. Is there any up and coming Philly MCs today that you are a fan of, that you respect their grind, you got your eye on them, hoping that they take some of them steps you were talking about earlier, that way they can, you know,
yeah, you know, I'm pretty sure Screw is from Philly, isn't he?
He's Jersey. Screw is Jersey, man. He reps South Jersey hard, but
I always
he's a Philly born, man.
I always think of him as Philly.
Yeah, no, I look at him as Philly too, man. I've had this discussion in the past about Jersey MCs who are part of the Philly scene. Technically he's Jersey, but he's Philly, man.
I'm going Screw Tape, he's Philly. You know, and then just to say, you know, he's somebody I respect. You know, he's on the new project.
I've heard
he's
that.
On my new project, Vested. So is J.O., the Last Man. He's on it too.
Shout out Sexy Star, man.
So yeah, Screw Tape is a really dope MC that I really do respect.
Check out our channel when you get a chance. One of them days when you and the kids and the wife are gone, jump on our channel. You can see the Screw tapes. Not only the interviews, which were dope. I think he was on twice, right, Screw? Yeah. He was on twice, but his freestyles, flat out ridiculous. Then he joined us for our 100th episode.
That's something I really do respect, because like, you know, he still does. I don't do those type of things.
No, you shouldn't, because you're OG in it. But I feel what you're saying.
I like that.
Yeah, no, for sure.
I like that. And you know what? I wasn't somebody who wasn't really into that anyway. Like when I was younger, I was always into making music. So when I hear somebody that's really dope at that,
he came to the cipher
it's incredible.
Obliterated it, man. But again, thank you so much.
No problem, man. It's a pleasure. Thank you for having me, man.
Shout outs. Again, shout the project. Let them know what's what, man. The mic is yours, good brother.
All right, Year of the Hyenas tomorrow. You can get it everywhere. You know, on Amazon, undergroundhiphop.com. Digitally, it's everywhere. Go get the new Jedi Mind, the new Czarface, the new Apathy. And yeah, that's it, man. It's not there's no AOTP project going on, but you know, we do what we do like we do every year. So it's Army of the Pharaohs all day again this year.
For sure, man. Right. Yo, check this. If you just tuned in, check this out this Friday on YouTube. And if you're watching now somehow magically on YouTube, share the link, like it, Posted in all them blogs, all of them, you know, groups on Facebook, all that good stuff, man. So again, man, we wish you all the love, man. You're part of the show, your family. Anything we can do, like you said, send us some singles, man. Send us all that. My good brother Feedy Sport would definitely
thank
show
you, man.
love,
I appreciate everything, man.
Thank you, man. Thank you. Once again, King Syze, y'all. Want to take over at